I was just wondering, like when you said about the Mula Mandram, is there any instances at undergrad or, at school where you said Mula Mandram, anything in specific that happened?
There is not one thing that I could say.
Got it. A lot.
A lot. Like every time I'm in some trouble, the Moola Mandram is the one that goes and then I'm out of it. So there's no one specific situation that I can think of. Because even now I'm just talking over here. That Moola Mandram is just going inside my head saying that, like, I should just, whatever I'm speaking should, like, Amma should, within me, Amma should speak. That I'm just the instrument, and Amma is like within me speaking. So, I'm just praying for it, and so it's not just one instance. There are many. Yeah, a lot. I mean, every, like, as of today, like every patient I do, before doing every patient, I say the Mula Mandram. Whenever there's a critical patient, when you're when you're operating or when you're handling a very critical patient, you say the Mula Mandram. There's one instance I would like to, because the first time I had my posting, it was at a surgery ward, and I remember the first time after I reported to the ward duty, it was the first death which occurred there after I reported. And I remember it was really, when you see a patient right in front of you, suffering, nearing death and all those things, you keep visiting and all those things is a different thing. But, when you're in the ICU or when you're in the ward and the patient is, nearing, it was really, it kind of really disturbs, at times. And I think I kept on saying the Mula Mandram. That patient is like, it's just the patient that I've treated, but I remember I kept on saying the Mula Mandram. And I remember after that the patient's death, I remember 2 days later that patient's son and daughter-in-law just came up to me, and they said, thank you, doctor, for praying for that patient, praying for him, because towards the end he did not struggle much. Because I remember every day when I do the ward, morning and night, before I do the ward, before I check his things, I say the Mula Mandram. And I think they noticed it. I didn't notice that, because it was, I was like, it was my first posting and all those things. I remember he was like, towards the end, my father did not struggle much. He had a peaceful death, and thank you for praying for him. And initially when you come across a death like that, your first posting and all those things, it kinds of disturbs you. You're kind of, whenever you cross that way, it kinds of disturbs you. But when they came and said this, I was like, okay, it did make a difference. Yeah, I don't know whether everyone realized it. For me and for them, yes, it did make a difference. Those were certain things, like, it may be really small things on a daily basis. Whatever happens, you just say Amma's Mula Mandram and you're out of it.
I was just thinking how, like, when you were saying Mula Mandram after he passed away, it was like as if, Amma knew what would console you at that time, and then probably brought them to,
exactly. There was
give their perspective as well.
Government hospital, a patient coming and saying thank you for praying, and it does not happen. And I remember a senior doctor was with me, and he was quite taken aback. He was like, you prayed, and why? I said, sir, it was not just for the patient, it was for me as well. This was the first, after I was posted in this ward, this is the first death, and of course it kind of affects. And he was like, and I remember he was saying to me, like, it's nice that you chose to pray. Because, like, he's the one who told me, like, there have been times where we have come across this, and eventually there's a breaking point where we cannot handle that, and then we get into depression and all those things happen, but you chose to pray, which was a good thing. If like most of us, we would have these Arulvaku books, right? So this was a book which last year around this time I was kind of going through a lot in my life. I was in Melmaruvathur, thankfully, but me and my family, we were going through some hard times. And I remember there was this one Shakti who you know, I was at the temple, and she told me to get this book. It was the Arulvaku book, and she told me, whenever you are down, you're hurt, you're down, you're kind of not feeling good, just open a page from that Arulvaku book, and the first Arulvaku you read will give you the answer. Randomly, she came and she told this, and she said, get this book. And I was like, okay, I have Arulvaku books with me, but like any book at Marvathur, we get it. So I was like, I have, but then this book I did not have. But some instinct that I felt like, okay, I'll get it. But since then, it was this book.
Oh,
I don't know whether it's clear.
no. Okay, yeah, now it's clear.
Yeah, so it was this book. It was last Thaipusam when I came. Last year for Thaipusam when I came to Melmaruvathur, I got this. This was right before. So I came for Thaipusam, and unfortunately my father had to be hospitalized at Melmaruvathur Hospital, and then it was a lot. So right before all this happened, I remember I was just near the Arukudam. I was just standing, and that's when someone told this, and I was like, okay, I'll just get it. Anyways, I wanted something to read as well, so I've got to get it. But since then, this book has been with me, because this book, whenever there is some issue, there is something that I feel down, I'm not in a good mindset, or something you're suffering from, something you're not good that day, that you feel that you're not good that day, just flip a page, open the first Arulvaku you see gives an answer. She said that, and then, but that's how it has been.
Okay.
And since that day onwards, and that day when she said that, I did not realize, but I just got the book, because at Amma's, I believe at Amma's, at Melmaruvathur, at Amma's temple, nothing happens without a reason.
True.
I have the belief, if at Amma's temple, if someone, because I have a lot of experiences as well, but again, I believe at Amma's temple, nothing happens without a reason. So it's a gut. I just got this book, and then a couple of days later, was my father was hospitalized, and this book since then has been with me, and till date, this is what has been guiding me through. I'm like, I realized that, again, I am someone who always kind of wanted Amma's validation. And I realized this was one way where Amma was giving me a validation. This book was, because last year, I remember, despite I was in Melmaruvathur from January to April, but I think I visited Amma 3, 4, 5 times, because I was in hospital. This was with me. I was in the hospital 24/7. I was in hospital with my father, and this book was with me. And every time the doctor says something, I keep opening this, and I hear like Amma saying that to me, and I'm like, okay. So since then, this has been a validation. So as of now, this is my validation.
Wow. A great way to wrap up, I think, to say like how we began. You mentioned an incident where Amma's validation is important, and then yeah, Amma has given you all the validations. I don't know. I mean, for whole life, I would say.
Whole life. This is
Yeah.
this is a validation which Amma has given me for the whole life.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Do you want to add anything else, or?
So again, when you ask for something from Amma, when you pray for something from Amma, it's not that always you get it instantly, right? I believe Amma gives you what you had asked for or prayed for, making sure that you are capable of receiving it. Being capable in sense like physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually strong enough to receive it with utmost gratitude. When you ask for something and you get it instantly, we don't value it. We do not have gratitude for it. We take it for granted at times. So when Amma takes time to give you, it is that she prepares you, that the time taken for it, she's preparing you for it. So that's something I wanted to insist. We think like, we wanted this, we've asked Amma, we've not got this. No, I think, and again, you may want something, but Amma knows what's best for you. She doesn't want you to settle for anything less than what you deserve. So when Amma does not give you something, like when you do not get something, when you pray for it, when you ask for it, don't become disheartened. As of me, I would say wherever I am today, this is a place I wanted to be 3-4 years back. But 3-4 years back, I do not think I would have had the experience, the confidence, the clarity, the knowledge I have today. These 3-4 years, I believe Amma has given me the experience. She has built me up. She has sculpted me in such a way to be wherever I am today, to handle things more confidently, to be more knowledgeable, to be more professional, to be more to have more clarity about what you are doing. Apart from that, these few years have given me, I have met people, like amazing people. I've come across great situations which have molded me who I am today. So whenever there is a time lapse, whenever you feel like there is a lag in your progress, do not feel disheartened. Always know that Amma is preparing you to give you the best. So always have faith in Amma. Whatever Amma does is for your good. As I said before, Amma knows better like on what you need. She doesn't want her child to settle for anything less than he or she deserves. So that is one thing I have made up my mind, I have come to terms with. If there is a delay in life, it's according to Amma's timeline. Your timeline does not have to match anyone else's. It's a timeline, it's a time frame that Amma has planned for you exclusively. So trust that.
True. I think when we want something, we just look at one side of it, and probably Amma knows, like, it's a package. It will have positives, negatives, a lot of challenges, and probably Amma knows when to give that to us, and to, as you said, to prepare us for those, for the whole package, basically, when we ask for something. And
yes,
do you want to add anything else?
I think we could keep speaking. It's not just one or two.
Yeah.
But then I had to just, due to the time factor, I had to just shrink it a bit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, probably in future as well, we can, continue and hear more about the other experiences. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you so much for having me.
அம்மாவை நினை மனமே மேல்மருவூர் அம்மாவை நினை மனமே